What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Bill, and today's video we are working on this nightmare project, the trailer. And in this video we are working on the trailer again. Now if you watched the last video, I kind of bit off a bit more than I expected with this trailer, and now I'm at the point where I'm trying to remove the outside panels on this side. It took me a while to even identify these screws. They're like a hex. They're like a Torx bit, except for there's 8 points instead of 6. And well, I found the correct drives for that. And as you can see, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in this one, 6 in this one, and they are all pretty much worthless now. The fine tips on these are not very strong, and then the fine tips in the screw also not very strong. So one of two things keeps happening: either the screw holds and I end up stripping the tool, and it does not take much. I've tried power tools, I've tried hand tools, I've tried everything, and it does not take much to strip this out. That's why I ended up getting a different set, because I tried a different brand, different company, hoping, well, maybe I just got a bad brand. And well, no, it's just the design of these. The tips are so fine that there's just not much strength in them. And then in the cases that the tool does hold, it just strips the screw out. And once it strips the screw out, it pretty much destroys the tool as well. So as you can see, I've gotten a number of these screws out, but I've ruined more bits and I've ruined more screws than I've gotten out. So resulted to starting to drill these out and using a back-off tool, which worked great, except for now I'm breaking the tools as well. I get 1 or 2 screws out, and then boom, I'd get one dug in there and it would shatter. So I could go with a bigger bit, but at that point I'm just drilling the entire head out and it's popping off. Yeah, a couple of these, like the drill, it's still in there. I was trying to drill it out to get one of the bigger easy outs out, and it just drilled the whole head off. So now, instead of trying to drill the holes out, I've just gone to a belt sander and I'm sanding the heads off, because that's the quickest and easiest way to get these bolts, well, not even out, but the heads of them off, so I can take these out. I said some of these up here are salvageable. These posts, these ones in the back, I mean, they're not even salvageable, so really don't care if we leave the screws in them. I just need to get this piece out. So I could even leave these 2 pieces connected if I can get the top of the bars disconnected, but I need to get this one out because it's overlapped, and then this rear piece I need to get the screws out. So that's what I'm doing. You may notice Santa came and visited me and gave me some new lights for the garage, so we'll see how. I don't have them all plugged in just yet. So yeah, apparently I got to face this way with the light on me, or you'll get really big shadows. But yeah, so it's cold again. We had a nice few days where it didn't seem like it was even winter time. And of course I was waiting to get parts, to get drill bits and everything during those days. And now that I've got everything that I need, it's cold again. So yeah, just out here grinding away at screw heads, because these screws are horrible. So if you want something that nobody could take apart ever, then 8-point screws are awesome for that. They are security screws, and 1, it's hard enough to find the bits, and 2, even if you find the bits, the screws are destroyed. So yeah, they are pretty secure. So as far as that's concerned, I guess that works. But if you ever want to have to take them out again, I would avoid these. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead, get back to grinding, and try to get these panels off. Yeah, not sure how long that was, but it's a whole lot quicker than the drill bits were trying to get them out. Now for drill bits, I did find these short stubbies because I kept breaking drill bits too, because apparently these screws are also stainless steel or some type of hardened steel, because they don't drill out easily either. So the sanders worked best. And just pop that off. And I think we were actually disconnected. One row of screws finally disconnected. I want to work on this end and get that one done next, and then we'll see what we're going to do about these center pieces, if I need to pull those off or if I can get that disconnected from the inside with the bars connected. And I'm talking about these support bars, because they're obviously not connected at the bottom. They're still tacked at the top. If I can just break those tacks without screwing up this bar, that would be great. And then I can just take it all out. But I'll let you know, see how it goes. All right, small update. So got the first couple of screws off of there, and I said the little belt sander was working faster. It was with the new belt. Apparently after about 6 screws, the belt's not quite as strong as it was. This is just a little Bauer sander that I picked up for cheap from Harbor Freight yesterday, and of course I was like, oh well, I'll get some extra belts while I'm here, because I figured I would need to replace it a couple of times. And of course they had this was the last of the sanders that they had, and they had no belts in stock. So now I'm gonna have to go try to find some belts. They probably should have some, hopefully Home Depot or Lowe's or Menards around here. No, it's actually New Year's Day. Happy New Year's, by the way. So I'm not sure what's open, what's not, so I'm gonna go find that out, hopefully find some belts, and then get back at it. All right, so got this side all disconnected, this side all disconnected. So go around inside. This rail's still connected up here, this rail and this rail. I'm seeing that I thought this rail was disconnected, but I'm still seeing screws in there, I think. And there's this overlap. Yeah, the screws are still on the other side, because that's where I grinded the tips off. So yeah, we can just pop those off. So yeah, these screws are still in the rail. That should actually pop off of there. I think first things first, I'm gonna try see if I just hit the top there, if that's going to be enough to cut through it, or if I'm going to have to get back underneath there too, which if that's the case, that's going to be a little harder to do. Alright, so we are able to get through the top, just barely with these discs. It's just barely enough to reach all the way to the back. And so I probably got to use a new disc on each one of these, because it's not going to go all the way back for me. But let's see. Yeah, I gotta change this. And I absolutely had safety glasses on this whole time, of course. That's all disconnected now. So that's still tacked on behind. I have to get back up. Now I can wiggle that off maybe. Should be able to get that off of there. Now I have better understanding what's going on here. This is tacked on pretty good, but doesn't go all the way down. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 plus 1 there, and then there's the one that, like the extra I don't know why that extra one's there, but it's probably there for a reason. So 5, 8, 5, 6, 7. Just to do, might as well do them all because the bottom of those aren't much better. So I'll probably just cut these 2 out as well. Undo the front, which should be pretty much disconnected. Just gotta worry about getting these top screws out, which hopefully I can. So yeah, instead of fighting all these screws, I'm just going to cut those 2 supports out and just go ahead and place them all, because those 2 are probably salvageable, but at this point. So yeah, let me go ahead and get the rest of this cut out, and then we'll all right. So in a weird shadow from this light over here, almost looks like a bar cart at this point. I could just turn it into a little bar area. But no, we got this whole side out. I just cut these posts off. Figure it's easier without all that in the way to work that. But I have a whole lot of metal cleanup up here, down there, back here. And yeah, now I know for sure. And then the angle iron I got was only long enough to come to here, but really I need to replace this whole thing. So I need 1 long angle iron piece for over here, and then 7 posts. I'll go try to find those. Probably end up having to order them, and as I'm waiting on that to come in, I'll start cleaning this up. I think that's going to wrap it up for right now. Check back in. All right, so we've got some progress here. It may not look like it, but got a plan here at least. So there's been a lot of grinding and cleaning up of metal. Now, there was this bar here, and you can see it's tacked in. The bottom half wasn't very good, so I just cut that off, cut a piece there. Since it's tacked to this as well, I feel confident enough if I weld that together, it's still going to have enough strength because tacking it there as well. I've considered I might try to tack a couple of these together, weld a couple of these together to make full poles, because you see from before I had to cut those out because they did not come far enough down. And well, if I cut the bottom of the corroded out, maybe I can weld in a new piece, because I'm having a really hard time finding replacement pieces of this. I found one place that has them, and they're like 20 bucks a piece for an 8-foot length, and I'm like, oh wow, that's perfect. I put 10 of them in my cart, went to check out expecting 200 bucks plus whatever shipping's going to be. Shipping was 400 bucks, so it was going to cost $600 to get $200 worth of metal sent to me, so didn't do that. And I found some other places that are selling the same thing for like 50, 60 bucks plus ridiculous shipping on top of that. So haven't figured out exactly what to do there, because this is perfect, because as you can see, it's deep enough that the screws don't protrude and catch on things. So I could just use like a C channel, but then I don't have these flats coming off, where if I want to attach anything like a board or anything like that on the inside, if I had just a C channel, I wouldn't have anything to attach that to. So maybe I can get away with doing every other one as these, and one in the middle a C channel, or I might just do like a full tube. I mean, that's just adding a little bit of extra metal and weight, but as of right now, I'm running out of options because I want to get this done. I want to get this out of my garage because it's been snowing. We had an ice storm, and I wasn't able to park in here because I got all this going on. So, but all that being said, we do have the bottom cleaned up. Got the angle iron going across, just in place right now. So that's going to be welded in. I got some pretty thick steel here that I'm going to, well, I'm going to actually finish welding that, but some of that kind of chewed up and I burned some of the metal. So I am going to put a plate probably from here to here to add just some extra rigidity to make sure that's good. I'll plate it on both sides. So I figure between the semi welds that I'm able to do, plus the angle iron on top, plus the plates on both sides, that's going to be more than strong enough. I certainly hope so. I mean, it was strong enough. It seemed to be strong enough to hold stuff in it, even when the bottom half was completely rotted through. So I may be overcompensating, but I'd rather have it too strong than not strong enough. So yeah, going to finish getting this cleaned up. Now, I love the Milwaukee cordless tools. They're great. However, if you're using the angle grinder as much as I have been, you may want to consider just getting a cheap snow fell outside off of the roof or something. But yeah, you may want to consider just grabbing a corded one, because I've spent just as much time changing out and charging batteries as I have actually grinding all this stuff down. So yeah, if these are great for most like small jobs, but something this size that I've been out here for 2 days straight just grinding and sanding and cutting things, a corded angle grinder or air one, if you have a big enough compressor, would probably be the way to go. But other than that, I'm gonna finish. You see, I still got to do some more grinding, clean up along those edges so that we're cleaned up and ready to weld. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, get everything in place and get started. All right, so got everything tacked in. Seems pretty sturdy. I get this crossbar, which was disconnected, tacked in. They're not pretty, but it's tacked in. It should be strong enough to hold itself by now. Hopefully, we're gonna find out. See if this back end breaks down or if it's strong enough to hold itself in place. It's not perfect yet. Like I said, it's just tacked in a few spots going down, but enough to hold it in place, it seems. Make sure everything actually lines up and that this door closes. Now this back piece is kind of warped, and we do have to bend it back, so that's why I didn't tack anything on here in place. But hopefully, I don't know if that's because the door start was closing. This side's not, but I'm wondering, is that because the door used to close when it was warped, and now we gotta bend this back to its original position now that we got that fixed, or if I screwed something up along the way. 55 inches. We are 55 inches there, so that actually works out perfect. 55 inches. So yeah, we got a nice square box here now. It's not tilted that way or anything, so we got a square box. I just got to get the posts in there. I'll go ahead and get this back post tacked in, and then kind of start going through and strengthening some of these welds and try not to burn through too much metal in the process and break things. So yeah, let me get this piece on next, and then we're pretty good. I just need to figure out what to do about these posts going through, and we start putting this side back together. Got this tacked in there. That's going to be plenty strong enough for this back corner, and that back corner is not even touching, and it's still pretty tight. And by the time we weld all this together, it's going to be very sturdy. So yeah, I'm just going to go through, continue tacking different spots until I kind of stitch everything together until it's all welded on there and nice and sturdy, and we'll call that good. so I gave up on trying to find these supports, and I am just going to try to make the ones I have work. I said there was this extra one that's just kind of there and not attached to anything on either side. So I had one of those on this side. Cutting some good pieces off of that, and then chopping out the rust and bad parts until it's up to solid metal on the ones I have, cutting some good pieces down, and hopefully we end up with enough. And if I need to, if I screw anything up, or if I need to, then I can get 1 or 2 pieces that I might need instead of all 10 that I was trying to order. So yeah, just welding it together there. It's not beautiful, but it's pretty strong. This one I figure as I'm going alternate. So one will have the weld down there, one will have the weld up here, and alternate so it's not just one straight line or close to a straight line that has the potential to buckle. At least with this way, I think it'll kind of add a little bit of extra support and work with each other. So not that I foresee these breaking or anything, but we'll see. So I'm just going to keep going through and welding these together, try to get some measurements laid up. I do have the outside skin on order. I did order that because there's no way around that. So I did have to order that as well, but not as bad, strangely enough. I guess because there's a few options that competing companies that sell the stuff, and barely anybody selling these. But yeah, so got the new skin on the way. Sucks because they sell it in 4x8 sheets, and 8-foot sheet would be perfect. But as you see, like originally it had 2 sheets going up and down, and I'm gonna have to do that too because this is wider than it's bigger than 4 feet tall. It's 58 inches. I did find 49 by 62, which was like the smallest that I could find, so I don't have as much waste. But yeah, so I have to do 2 sheets like it was originally. So I just need to make sure when I do get this post up that it's going to fall in line with the outside, where the outside sheet goes. So there'll be a seam there, and then a seam here at the end. And I did order a piece there, like what was on there, just like a little, there we go, like this little trim panel here that went up and down. So the end sheet went in there, so you can't see any waves or anything like that, and it kind of makes a final seal on the back end. So I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this video. I'm going to go ahead, keep cutting these poles down, making some new ones, see how that goes, get them all cleaned up, and then we'll start tacking them in and everything like that. We could do that in the next video. For now, I appreciate you watching. Hope you're enjoying this build. I know it's a little bit different than the Bronco build, but it's a fun project. It's a good winter project. It'd be really nice to get this thing wrapped up so I can pull it out, so I could pull the Bronco in here to work on. We're getting close to there. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.